that is why you're here. But as you can see behind me on the board, we're going to be going over a couple of different things that you can look for virtually on any credit report that's going to help you to remove those negative items quickly. And we are using the credit sweep method. Now, in case you didn't know, the credit sweep is different from just regular credit repair in that we're not taking years to fix your credit. We are taking months to do so. And the only way that this is accomplished is by understanding exactly what we should be looking for when we go and pull a credit report. All right. So make sure that you pay attention, make sure that you stay to the end, make sure you smash that like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and let's get to it, okay? So the very first thing that you're gonna wanna do is pull your credit. I highly recommend that you use Smart Credit, especially if we are dealing with late payments, okay? That is that. All right, so now we have our credit report. When you look at your report, if you don't understand what you should be looking for or how an account should be reporting legally, then what is it that you think that you're looking for? You probably don't know what should be jumping out at on the page for you, right? So we're going to go over a couple different things. This is my fake account on a credit report, and you're also going to learn the top things that you should be looking for and some of the things that don't matter, kind of like this chicken scratch right here. Those things just don't matter, okay? They are at the bottom of the hierarchy when it comes to disputing your negative items. So let's jump into this. Experian, then Equifax, then TransUnion. For each of these things, they are parts of an account: date last active, date last paid, notice of dispute, date last reported, so on and so forth. So the things that we are not really giving a crap about are going to be these right here: type, terms, status, open date, things like that. I do not use those when it comes to disputing accounts. There's very specific things that you should be looking for. What are those things? Date last paid. Go to the comment section after you have disputed an account. Did they put that notice of dispute? What about the date last reported? They said that it's verified, but guess what? They're supposed to go and update to that new date from when they verified it. If they didn't do that, it means no such investigation took place, okay? So there's a couple different places that you can look to see if they did an investigation. Notice of dispute, date last reported, okay? Those are two of them. Now we have date last active. Now, if you've been following me for the 9 years that I've been here on YouTube with over 1,200 videos, you would know that date last active used to be my number one. It's not number one anymore. Date last paid is. Okay, you have to understand how these parts influence each other. Date last paid stipulates basically when that account is naturally going to fall off, and therefore it is number one. It must be accurate, okay? And then under that, we have all that crap that we don't really care about. Type, terms, status, high balance, so on and so forth. There's a time and a place to use some of these, and we're going to go over some of them. So when you look at your report, you should see, starting with date last paid. Example. So if Experian is reporting 10/1/2020, Equifax is reporting 9/16/2021, and then we have TransUnion reporting 3/8/19. Obviously, these are three different dates. They are 3 different years and 3 different months. What does that mean? If you know what this means, smash that like. It means that the account is going to come off at 3 totally different times. Why would we want that? And how did they even come up with this information if it is one data furnisher that is entering the information to the credit report and submitting it to the credit bureaus? Why is it 3 different dates? I don't know. Human error? I guess that shouldn't even be the question, okay? The question can be, can it be removed? And yes, it most definitely 100% can be removed, but you need to know how to use it. How do you use this? Delete this account for inaccuracy because the last paid reports as Experian 10/20, Equifax 9/21, and TransUnion 3/19. Those are 3 different dates. Get it off my credit report. You don't have to put that last part on there. I just gave that one for you. Now, what about the comment section? Again, when you dispute an account, this is a violation, not an inaccuracy. When you dispute an account, they are required to put that the account has been disputed by the consumer, you, right? If they don't put that on there, then that means that when a potential lender or whatever goes and pulls your credit report, they're not going to see that you potentially have an issue with this account, right? So that's one of the reasons that these have to go on there, okay? And we've been going over this in our series for playbooks recently. The collections playbook, which includes the validation of debt, the credit sweep playbook, which includes literally how to do everything, how to write your perfect dispute letter, dispute reason, all that kind of stuff. Those links are going to be down in the description. I forgot to put them there. But this one is on tactics, right? We are talking about tactics right now, and this is a tactical approach to disputing and removing information from your credit report, all right? Now, if you want to access all of the other tactics, there's 66 of them, like the KO method and even a second type of validation of debt, then it's sendme2.co/tactics, all right? So let's go to the next one. What do we do if we disputed and within 30 days that notice that I disputed this account is not in that comment section? Well, how do I know it's not in the comment section? You go to the comment section on your credit report and there's nothing here. So if Experian doesn't have it and Equifax doesn't have it, but TransUnion marks it as disputed, then that means that you are now going to use on round 2 or round 3. I do it on 3. You did not enter the required notice of dispute within 30 days from the date of XYZ that you received my dispute letter. Therefore, you're in violation of section 623. It is A3, I believe, and you need to remove this account for violation. If you want the short version of this, delete for violation pursuant to section 623 for failure to enter the notice of dispute. Pretty simple, right? And you can put the date of the letter on there. All right, so now what about TransUnion though? TransUnion did mark it as disputed, but did they put it in there within 30 days? That's the question. If the answer to this is yes, then you need to go and find another reason to dispute the account, okay? If, however, they entered it, but they entered it on day 31 or day 60, I don't care when it was, if it's not within those 30 days from when they received your first dispute, it's a violation, a huge violation that I've used to remove thousands and thousands of accounts, okay? Next thing, date last reported. Now, again, this is one of the ways that you can tell whether they did an investigation. Date last reported may look a little bit different on your credit report. It could be date of status, date last updated. I call it date last reported, okay? So it just depends on where you are getting your credit report. But this should not say 2017 or 2021 or 2022 if you're disputing in 2023. It should have whatever date in 2023 that they verified your account, right? So what do we do if Experian says 2017 and Equifax says 2023 and TransUnion says 2022? What does that mean? It means that Equifax did comply and entered it as obviously verified. They updated to the date last reported to that current date, and Experian and TransUnion did not. So now for those two bureaus, you can attack them and say, hey, you did not update this to when you verified the account. I even use quotes in my letters like verified. I just don't believe that you verified anything. How did you verify? Oscar, that's not verification, okay? So what about the one that did update? You have to go and find another new reason to dispute and remove this account. And again, smash that like if you're actually learning something. All right, so date last active. What about date last active? What the heck does that mean? All right, date last active is when anything was last active on the account. Did you make a payment? Did they update something? Whatever. Recently, this has changed. Before, this used to be my number one thing that I would dispute. I'd get the things off and hey, everyone went home happy. However, it's not like that anymore. They are updating the date last active to be if someone sneezed and now it's updated. So that is why it is number 4 instead of number 1, okay? Can you still use this to remove the account? Yes. Why is this active on here recently in 2023, but it's not for you and you? I don't know. You can use that the same as any inaccuracy. Delete this account for inaccuracy because the date last active reports as date. Okay? Straightforward. Now, what about these other things? Like, Another thing that you should be looking for, monthly payment on a closed account. This account is closed. Why does it show that I'm paying monthly if I do not have a repayment agreement and I'm not paying monthly? If the account is open, that is a different story. But you have to understand that all these numbers literally count as something on your credit report. So if it's showing that you're paying $200 more per month than you actually are, that could be a reason that a potential lender does not lend to you because they think that you're paying more monthly than you actually are, okay? If the account is closed and there's no repayment agreement or you're not actively paying on it, it should not have a monthly payment. So go and look at, for all your closed accounts, the monthly payment. So in this example, we have $200 on Experian, we have 0 on Equifax because that's reported accurately, and 0 on TransUnion. So for Experian, you would go and dispute it as such. Delete this account for, I don't know if it's a violation, so let's just say inaccuracy, because you report a monthly payment of $200 on a closed account. You see how that works? All you're doing is extracting the information and putting it into the Agero formula. Action, justifier, element, reason, outcome, okay? You see how my dispute reasons sound very similar? That's because I'm taking the information from this fake account and I'm sticking it into the formula. Action, justifier, element, reason, outcome. Delete this account for inaccuracy because the date last paid reports as date. That's it. That is it. If you want to learn how to do it, the link is going to be down in the description. Send me to .co/get my cheat sheet, all right? Next one, what about when your account shows a balance but only on one bureau? If it says 0, 200, 0. It's the same thing. How can this account have a $200 balance if Credit Bureau A and Credit Bureau B report this as 0? Obviously, that means that I paid this account. Even if you didn't, that is what common sense tells you, okay? Now, here's a big one. Pay attention to this. What if the status... Remember I told you there's a time and a place for these other things that I don't use? What if the status says sold, transferred, or sold, but it reports a balance? Only the account holder or owner should report the balance. So if this account reports as transferred or sold, they no longer hold the account and therefore cannot report a balance or a past due. They can report late payments and all of that up to when they actually had the account, right? But they cannot report a balance or a past due. Only that new collector or lender or whatever can report it. So an example is you didn't pay, Capital One. Capital One sold it to Portfolio. Now Portfolio is reporting that you owe $200. But Capital One is now supposed to report transferred or sold with a 0 balance because they don't have it anymore. So that is one major thing that you want to look at. So there's 3 places you need to look: balance, past due, and status. If the status does not say transferred or sold, then I would stay away from the balance and the past due. But if that status now says transferred or sold, you're going to go after the balance, the monthly payment, and the past due, because obviously that account is closed. There should not be a monthly payment. All right. Next one. We went over that, and status open. If the account is charged off, it shouldn't have a status of open. Okay. I mean, that's just pretty straightforward. It's charged off. It's no longer an asset to you. So therefore, how is it open? Another thing for collections, I could have made a whole new board for collections. Go after, if it's like Portfolio and Midland and Calvary and all of them, you're going to go after the balance, not balance, past due, the payment history, and the payment status. So if it says late, it is a violation. If there is a past due, it's an inaccuracy. If there are late payments, I don't know if that's an accuracy or violation. I'll just call it inaccurate, okay? Those are 3 things that I use all the time to remove those from credit reports. So again, time and place. How is a collection late when by default it's late? Duh, it is late. Like, hello? Okay, how is it that you're reporting this as a late status? It's late. By default, it's a collection, so get it off my credit report. Those things don't belong on there. So now what about the payment history? So what if you have one bureau, 30, 60, 90, those same dates, okay, 30, and those same dates, 60, okay, 30. What do you do? How do you handle this? It's pretty simple. Number one, ask yourself, do I need to update these late payments? So get rid of these late payments so that it literally shows okay, okay, okay. Or am I disputing late payments to remove the whole account? If the answer to that is updating, kind of like magic, just get rid of those late payments, then what you're going to do is you are going to basically use the bureaus against each other. I paid on time for whatever this date is, and yet it reports as 30 days late on Experian. Okay, meaning I paid on time on Equifax, and 60 days late for that same month on TransUnion, right? So delete this account or update to paid on time as agreed, whichever floats your boat, all right? Same thing for the next day. Let's say that doesn't work. We can't use that same reason, but we have more late payments to go after. 60 days, okay, okay. 90 days, 30 days, 30 days. Those need to be consistently the same late payments. That is exactly how I remove accounts using the payment history or first day of delinquency. That's another one. That's a huge one. I forgot that one. First date of delinquency. All right, so we have date last paid, notice of dispute, first date of delinquency, date last reported, and date last active. Okay, those are going to be at the top of the hierarchy. All right, so always go and look at that payment history. Another thing that you're going to see is continued reporting in that payment history after the account was closed. Unless you have, again, a repayment agreement of some sort, there should not be continued late payments or continued reporting of charge off, charge off, charge off, charge off, charge off. And you know what? I was scrolling YouTube the other night, I think it was yesterday or something, and it's funny that I landed on someone's short, and it seems like she stole the information right from one of my videos, because it was like verbatim what I said like 5 years ago, okay? If it's continued reporting in the payment history, you need to use that to get the account removed, okay? Up to when it was closed, that's fine. After that, once it's charged off, zilch, nil, nada, okay? So you have a lot to work with when it comes to looking at your credit report and finding these things that you can use. You just have to know what you're looking for. And that's the exact reason why I have these videos. That's the exact reason why I teach you these things. All you have to do is implement it and go and look at your credit report, and you're going to see for yourself that these things are rampant all over your report, okay? Obviously, if you don't want to do this, if it's too much for you, you don't understand it, you don't want to deal with the date last reported, the date last active, the notice of dispute, all that kind of stuff, that's fine. That's what I'm here for. Go to my740.com. my740.com. Schedule a call with me personally, and I will see if I can do the credit sweep for you, because I know all this stuff, okay? This is what I do. It's what I've been doing for over a decade. This is how I've gotten removed like 50,000 negative items over the last 4 years, okay? So do I know what I'm talking about? Yes. Do I prove it? Yes. Do I show you that it works? Yes. And you can do it too. You just need to know how to do it the right way. All right, if you need help, I am here. If you want to drop a comment, but you can go and comment on any of mine. So these are 3 different playbooks that I have created specifically for you so that you can learn exactly what it takes to dispute and remove these things on your credit report so you can go and increase that credit score and go out and get your house. It's not far-fetched that you can move out of mom and dad's house or their basement or out of your apartment or your townhouse and get the house of your dreams, okay? If you just go back to 2018 or 2016, 17, 15, when I first started making videos, dude, I had a 1960s heater behind me that when I was doing my videos, I'm wondering if when I turn it on because it's cold outside that it's gonna blow up. And here I am in a 2,600 square foot house that I love. Like, it takes time. It is a process, but you can get there. All you have to do is take one step at a time. You want to see if I can do it for you? My740.com. Hope you can read my writing. If not, it's down in the description. All right. So that is it. I'm going to get going. I hope you have a great one. Remember to smash that like. And don't forget to subscribe. And make sure that you hit the bell for notifications too. I always forget to say that one, right? So that you can be notified when I go live so you can learn something that's actually going to remove this stuff, okay?